Okay. I okay. So I feel like okay. So let's just talk about Shinso real quick. And since he referenced the monkey guy, and since what the fuck is that monkey? I don't even remember his name. Well, either way, I'm gonna call him monkey guy because that's what he said. So the monkey guy that's from Izuku's class. Why did he drop out? It seems like he said something about Shinso, right? It seems like he was pointing out, I told Shinso, or I told Izuku not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So then so then Izuku saying something has to either trigger or activate Shinto's quirk.
Or it just allows his quirk to take over. It kind of opens up the door, I would say.
So so he's taking over. So okay, well that would be my next question. What do you think his quirk is?
That's what I don't know. I feel like it's some type of like mind control, maybe? Mind control? Because if he has mind control, he can make him freeze, stay in his place the way he did.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Like, yeah, it is mind control is because of the other guy, the monkey dude. He said he couldn't remember anything. You know what I mean? So I would think like if you can't remember something, it's because you weren't in there. You weren't in your head. You weren't in your own head. Somebody else was either controlling you, or you were just your mind, or somebody took your memory.
Yeah.
Either or. Like either he takes memories. Either Shinso takes memories or he takes control of your mind. Because if the monkey guy didn't remember, then that means he wasn't in his own mind, you know? So, and him barely coming back to his own, like, conscious, I guess you could say. Coming back to it, he was already in the second stage or second round or third round, whatever.
But then how would he be able to control Izuku? Or make him freeze in place?
Well, that's why I think, like, either he must have took over his mind. But how, like, I don't know. It has to do something with speaking. Like you said, it might allow him to be entered into, just enter his body in some way.
Yeah, that's what I don't.
You gotta maybe respond, or because it did seem like he was trying to aggravate Izuku, or at least, you know, piss him off by telling him the monkey boy, like he you know, basically, you know, it was a waste that he, you know, for him to, you know, drop out, you know, like pretty much, you know, I feel sorry for this dude. He drops out, you know, and whatever.
Yeah.
And Izuku kind of gets mad and angry and responds to him, which is what the monkey guy was like saying. He was like, no, what? Didn't I just tell him not to? And it did seem like they were having a very long conversation before this little battle happened. So I'm sure there were details that, you know, we didn't really get to hear. But that the monkey dude was telling Izuku, you know, I'm sure there was some details in there that
he was giving him some type of advice.
Help or something to help him out, I'm sure. And I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode what exactly he was telling him. But yeah, I see, and that this whole time, ever since Shinso's came out, I've been wondering what the hell is this guy's quirk? You know what I mean? Because he hasn't really tried showing off, I guess, you know?
Yeah, and remember in the first phase, you can say, of the tournament, people were carrying him across the obstacles.
Yeah.
So maybe he does have mind control.
He was probably controlling them, huh?
Yeah, because he was being carried by multiple people. And we were like, why is everybody carrying him?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good fucking...
Yeah.
That's a good one. I forgot that he was being carried through the first obstacle, through like the first race.
Yeah, that's why I also was like, wait.
Either they like love him, or he's like the best, or, you know, they're being mind controlled. Hey, you know what? That's really good. I honestly just straight went over my head. I forgot. But yeah, that does make sense now, like him having the mind control. I guess we can start off with the beginning of episode 19, which was Todoroki confronting Izuku about his quirk. Is he All Might's secret love child? You know, so saying like, did All Might go around, you know, and get somebody pregnant, you know, just to have you, you know, basically kind of like what happened to him.
Yeah.
You know, did your dad go and pay somebody off, you know, who had a quirk that they could use, you know, basically use their quirk and find somebody who had a quirk that he liked, and then basically, you know, mate, right? Mate, or is that animals? People mate, right? No, people don't mate? Okay, so that was animals. Okay, well,
reproduce.
And I was also going to say breed. reproduce to make a perfect child, like a perfect, like have both quirks that could, which is weird because fire and ice, you know what I mean? I can see why the dad would be like, these, how can you go wrong with these quirks,
But you wouldn't think people would actually go around looking for or rearranging
that's how he was saying they used to do it, right? I think, which then didn't seem human or decent, but and he started talking about now, people get with people or you know what I mean? So maybe the child will have a quirk, maybe they won't. The quirks can be totally random, you know what I mean? Because say his dad would have got with somebody that was like, the shocking dude or the amplifier or the one with the chicks with the USBs, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of a child would they have had? Some fiery USB type of,
combination of both.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So
just by Endeavor going around looking like I want somebody with ice, it kind of was it was a total opposite of what he had. So he knew like, how could he lose? You know what I mean? I'm sure that was his weakness. Endeavor's weakness was probably ice. So if you have a son who has no weakness, say no weakness because he has ice and fire, who can beat him? Who could beat Todoroki eventually if he masters both fire and the ice? Maybe an All Might.
That's what I was gonna say.
Maybe some type of
Izuku.
All Might, but even then, like, say Endeavor is weak only to All Might because he can only do fire. Say if Endeavor had both fire and ice, maybe he could be number one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's where he's trying to, like he told All Might, Todoroki's gonna beat you.
Yeah, but all of this stems from All Might and Endeavor's fight, and because Todoroki he told Izuku, I felt that power hit me. So he did feel the hit. He felt the hit, and he said it reminded me of All Might's power.
So do you think his fire side is stronger than his ice side? Would you say like he that's why he used his fire side to block Izuku's hit? You know what I mean? Because maybe that's the side he's always gonna count on to really have his back. But that's what's kind of, that's what makes me think like maybe he is gonna be really strong because he's already strong with his eye side. You know what I mean? So just him still being able to keep up with Izuku just with the eye side. Imagine what he could do if he used both. That's the only reason I'm thinking like, man, and Todoroki's gonna be really, really good at some point when he at least accepts.
But there's got to be some type of disadvantage to that.
Both of them. Yeah, like every other buddy.
Yeah, like there has to be something that, there's got to be more to why he doesn't use that side. Versus just telling Izuku, oh, I don't use it because I don't like my dad. And
even then, like, what are the cons? Everybody's quirk has some type of, con. Ochaku throws up if she does it too much. Izuku blows out his arm, if he does that. Ida, I think, like he can't run as long, or he eventually becomes immobile, because he uses all, everybody, or Aizawa, his eyes get dry if he does it too long, but that's the only way he can use his quirk. I feel like, what are Todoroki's cons in a way from using both of them?
Maybe he doesn't like to use that side. It's just a theory, but maybe he doesn't like to use his fire side because it brings out his dad's side in him.
So, and then, after all this conversation between Izuku and Todoroki, eventually Izuku comes to realize that he's on the same, level as Todoroki. Like, he feels like he can compete with Todoroki, that he also will take down Todoroki, that he's gonna be number one, because he also, maybe his story isn't as harsh or isn't as emotional as Todoroki's, but he still has people who have helped him get to where he's at, and people who are, looking up to him to win. Especially All Might, the number one hero. When you have somebody that big, to looking up to you to win this event, I'm sure that's going to be a lot of motivation, which is why he tells Todoroki, I'm going to beat you. You know what I mean? Back at you. Like, as much as you want to beat me, I want to beat you because I have people behind me looking, looking to me to win.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I guess we can move on to the end, guys, with the one-on-one battle. So this is going to be very interesting, this event. One-on-one. Everybody's facing each other. You're actually going to get to see what they can do by themselves, on their own, against each other. Like what this quirk can do against this quirk. It didn't look so good for Izuku, like we were saying in the beginning of this discussion. Shinso, I feel like he's taking over minds, right? He's taking them over. Like, how do you make somebody freeze without getting into their brain, or at least being able to wire them somehow? I do feel like the only reason I think it's maybe he's taking memories was because the guy couldn't remember what he did. The monkey dude couldn't remember what he had did to get to where he was at already.
But the thing is, if you're being controlled at that moment, your brain is not yours.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any way you can hold any memories of anything.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. So it's just like, what is Shinto's like? We'll find out, I'm sure, on the next episode. But we're really just like, it's just wondering, like, I'm sure it's mind control. Come on, what else could it really be? Like, it can't be nothing else. Like, if it's pretty common sense what he's doing. The other guy couldn't remember something. He just told him not to. The only thing that caught me by surprise was he said, "Don't speak." What does speaking have to do with it? You know what I mean?
That's what still is. I don't know. That's why I'm so hesitant.
Maybe, like you maybe said, maybe it's a chance to enter into the body, or at least
into the brain.
Yeah. You got to give him some type of response for him to be able to, like, I don't know, weird things. It's weird, guys. But that seems like the only reasonable answer.
Yeah.
So like we said, guys, super good. I know it's gonna be a good episode. All Might, Endeavor, like it seems like they have a little beef, but more so for Endeavor against All Might, because he's more like, I want to be number one, and since I was never able to be number one, then I don't like you, kind of, and I don't want nothing to do with you. And and by the way, I made a son by paying off this lady to, since she had a quirk I liked, that we could put our quirks together and make a child who will eventually be my successor, or eventually be the best, and will take you out, All Might. So I don't know. All Might, he's always smiling. He doesn't really, to him it seems like he's just brushing it off, and he knows that he's trying to help people, and he knows he has Izuku.
Yeah, and he even gave Izuku the best advice, which is what you just said. Always put a smile on your face.
Yeah, and move forward. Which is why Izuku, I feel like he's on his way to be the best. So either way, thank you guys so much for all the support you guys continue to show us. This was My Hero Academia episode 19, The Boy Born with Everything. So who was the boy born with everything real quick? Like, who was it?
I would say Todoroki.
Todoroki?
Yes.
Okay, so he was the one born with everything. So, because he has ice, fire, but then he has a fucked up dad and a sad mom. I don't know if I want to be born like that, but all right. Well, either way, guys, like we said, thank you so much for taking the time to go down, click the like button, leave a comment, just to clarify something we might have not understood. It just really means a lot to us, that you're taking time out of your day to do that for us. But either way, till next time, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light